Gemini, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-December 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's happening for the lovely Gemini collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for these beautiful Geminis in mid-December? It's a lovely time of year. What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Gemini in mid-December. What's the vibe? What's the energy? Let's get this card out nice and quick for you, my friends. What do we have? There we go. Ask and you shall receive. Now, I love this card because to me it's more of like a big picture, even though the readings we do are week by week. This one kind of looks like the journey of life or the big picture. So there could be a lot of things that you're working through or dealing with in this time that might affect the big picture look of life itself. And I don't mean to be so grandiose, but that's kind of just how this card makes me feel, and I'll explain it. Before we fully dive into it, though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the December subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So as you can see, we have this individual kind of dressed in red, surrounded by the white birds, the doves, and those are very symbolic. But notice they're carrying this person along with the strings. Now, first and foremost, huge card of spiritual protection. In divination and symbolism, white birds, they represent peace, they represent innocence, but they also represent that love and light type of spirit. So guardian angels, guides, spirit team, ancestors, you name it. Maybe we have one from each. And they seem to be guiding this person on a journey. Notice the etheric spiritual look here. So I love this for spiritual protection. So for some of you, it could be a very simple message like that. You are not alone. We are with you. Whether you feel us, whether you don't, we are here. And this is just part of the journey. Because when I see this, I think of spirit helping this person on their big picture journey. So of course, we could think about the big picture in general, which some of you might be doing, thinking about like, all right, how is this going to affect me years down the line? Which doesn't have to be a bad thing. But I love the spiritual guidance. So definitely keep your eyes open for signs, synchronicities, omens, because this card to me usually pops up when you might be receiving more than you normally do. So I like it. I like the guidance as well. So we're just going to put it down right there. Big spiritual guidance with this card. And yeah, they'll keep doing their journey. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always like to say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for the beautiful Geminis. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It was a little high strung, if I'm going to be honest with you, my friends. The reading was titled They Are Nervous. Now, I'm not saying that you were a nervous wreck the whole entire week. Could have easily been somebody else. But there was a palpable tension. There was like a on edge type of energy I was picking up. So if you were on edge, I hope you're not anymore. We're going to hope that the energy improves this week, but that could bleed over for a couple weeks. Let's see what shows up this week, though. As you know, it could be your energy or somebody else's. You just take it however it hits for you, okay? Let's get it going. 3 cards for the lovely Geminis. What do we got for our good friends? Thank you. World. Completion. Completion of something. That's funny that like we start with an ending. I'm not going to go too far in on that yet. I like the world because not every completion is a bad completion, right? Let's get a couple more. Let's get a couple more. And a beginning. All right, so we got like a ending and a beginning. This could definitely be a very large shift of energy. That's for sure. Let's get one more. I mean, it's flowing at the very least. And then we have the Knight of Cups. Speak of flowing, we get this beautiful, silky smooth card. So although we start with the world, I feel hopeful with the energy that I'm picking up here. I don't know why I feel so hopeful, but I do, and I think that's a good thing. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first glance, as far as elements go, big emphasis on the inner world, right? Because we got water, we have air. Those are both inner world elements, and the world itself is just big picture major arcana. So very similar to that oracle card. So this is very important, and it's very powerful energy that we will not ignore. But the air in the center, that's your power element. That's your power zone. So it's very pragmatic, it's logical, it's smart, it's intelligent, it's very sharp. It's also huge for communication, the suit and the card itself. And we'll talk about that more as we move further within the reading. So I love this here for you. The only downside with the swords, if you could even call it that, there's a certain detached type of energy to it. Could be cold, sometimes it could be very serious, stern, or mean. So we want to look into this further. Then we have the water, the realm of the emotions, the feelings, the inner world. So it's like we have the heart and the mind, heart, mind, brain, and brain is the swords, and then the feelings of the heart. With the cups, it could be creativity, right? It's very imaginative and daydreaming. It's good for problem solving because we're thinking outside of the box. But of course, this card, especially with the suit, is huge for partnerships. Both of these are big with communication as well. So I think that's super important. So it's internal, there's a lot of communication. There could be different ways to handle it. Let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. So position number one, we are starting with the world. So, as I mentioned, we're starting with an ending of some kind. And the world is the last of the major arcana in the tarot deck. So, yeah, it does represent a culmination or something reaching its final form, which doesn't have to be a bad thing. Although this card can represent endings, it's not like the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords is very harsh, it's hurtful, it's painful. So this could just be a metamorphosis, right? It could just be a shift or a change. Think of something reaching its final form. So there could be a lot of things in life right now that are starting to culminate, where it's like, okay, we're about to close one chapter but open up the next. We see it within the spread itself this week, which I find really intriguing, and I want to explore it further. Now, this card could also represent cycles, the ones that we live through. It could represent karma, karmic energy. Remember, we're talking big picture here. So not just now, not just today or this week. This is like big picture thinking. So that seems to be a theme you've been picking up this week. So again, could be endings, could be changes, could be cycles turning from one page to the next, whether that's internally or externally. We'll dig into it deeper. Huge karmic energy. So we're just going to place it down here by the amethyst. Now, moving to the center, while we get this world tucked right back in where it belongs, we have the Sword of Truth, the Ace of Swords. This is a huge complementary energy for the Gemini collective. As with all aces, it can represent offers, opportunities, conversations, or messages. I love aces because they're fresh and they're new. It's revitalizing, very similar to page energy. So if this is an energy that's coming in, it's like out with the old and with the new. The energy is like refreshing itself in one way or another, where it's like, all right, let's hit the reset button. I love this card for that. Now, the Ace of Swords, the Sword of Truth, is great for figuring things out. Learning the truth of a situation, looking at something in a very logical, pragmatic type of way. Remember, it's extremely intelligent and smart. But the downside to the Ace of Swords, as mentioned, it could be serious, stern, cold, detached. So we do want to look at it further and say, all right, well, what flavor of Ace of Swords are we getting here? Could it be information coming to the surface? That could absolutely be it as well. But generally, aces are a good thing, especially when we go from the world, which closes something out, to this one that opens up another. So it's like the natural progression of something. Moving to the very back end, we got the Knight of Cups. And talk about flow, talk about smooth. Now, for some of you, this could be a water sign you're connected to. So Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. And the Knight of Cups, out of all the knights, moves at the perfect speed. Remember, knights are communicators, so they're messengers as well. So not only do we have communication here, we have it here. But he moves at the right pace. So not too slow, like the Knight of Pentacles, not too fast, like the Knight of Swords or Knight of Wands, just right. So this is like the perfect speed, the perfect temperature, so to speak. So we like this. Now, if this is a personality trait, someone that's very smooth, slick talker, someone that's very good with their words, Prince Charming archetype, huge card for love, huge card for care. So we do want to say, like, are we seeing some conversations here, or is this how the energy is moving forward for you? Because if that's the case, this energy moves smooth, it's silky smooth, which I really think is nice. So the downside to the Knight of Cups, watch out for anybody trying to make you feel bad for them. That's like always the big red flag, I think, with the Knight of Cups, where like someone knows how to play your heartstrings. Just watch out for anything in that realm. Not saying that's definitely going to happen, but sometimes. But I want to dive deeper on all of it, Gemini. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. What do we got for Gemini? Please. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that world. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Gemini, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, why is the world here, please? Why is the world here? Okay. Yeah, it's powerful. It's really powerful. Okay, so we have the devil in reverse. Now is a great time to, like, if you have any like behaviors, patterns, thought processes, addictions, anything in that realm. When I see the world with the devil in reverse, it's like now it's the time to solve long-standing issues or problems. Now is a great time for that. And I'll tell you why I find it even more important. The devil is an energy, and I know if you watch tarot readings, it's tied to Capricorn. So again, not all Capricorns are devils. It's due to the goat symbolism. Usually it's a very firm energy. Yes, I could speak about the material world and material assets, but it could also be toxicity. It could also be addictions. It could also be certain patterns and loops. Normally, the devil is planted, very similar to the Hierophant. It's a very solid, very sturdy type of energy that lingers and lingers and lingers. When I see it in reverse underneath the world, it's like, whoa, all right, either something's coming to a close or something is changing in a massive, massive way. I think this energy is actually really good and it could be used for good purposes. So, again, for any Geminis out there, especially for self improvement purposes, this energy is highly supportive to turn over a new leaf. So, whether it's with behaviors, thought processes, material world things, there's big change available to you if you just take it. That's what I think when I see the devil in reverse. A long time issue or a long time problem being able to be solved, which I think is great. So are there endings? Yeah, yeah, that's still in the mix as well. There could be various situations or problems ending. I'm not saying that they're all not healthy for you. I'm not saying that. But there's great energy towards progress. That's what I like here. So we're going to keep moving because again, there's still a lot more to go. So we have the closeout, we have the change of some kind. Let's see where it goes from there. That's what I'm most concerned with or interested in. Pardon me. But let's see what the Ace of Swords has. Why is it here for Gemini, please? Cool. Yeah. All right. So we got the Hanged Man in reverse. Notice we have this energy underneath, all the wedged energy coming loose, which I think is great. So we have still more of this supportive change based type of energy. Now, for some of you, I always say there are certain times where we want to bite our tongue or watch what we say. There's certain times we want to let it rip. I think for a lot of Geminis in this time, Ace of Swords with the Hanged Man in reverse, it's like don't hold back. So if there's a conversation you've been wanting to have it. If there's something you've been wanting to tell someone, tell them. There could be a serious type of conversation that either needs to be had or will be had, especially with the Ace of Swords and the Hanged Man. It's like, all right, I've thought about this, I've analyzed this, and here are my findings. So, again, whether it's a serious situation that needs to be addressed or something like it just needs to be addressed. Now, the Hanged Man, zodiacally, it could be a few different signs. Some people give it to Pisces, some people give it to Virgo, some people even give it to Scorpio. I give it to all three. But notice this Hanged Man normally in the upright is retracted, pulled back, extremely analytical, very much plan based. So when I see it in reverse, it's like, okay, I've thought for a while. These are my findings, and this is how I'm moving forward. So it's like the time for thinking, the time for analyzing is over. Now's the time for action. So again, if there's a talk or something you want to say, it's like let it rip. That's the vibe I'm picking up here. Where it's like, oh no, this energy's coming in and it's coming in to address something. So again, there's certain times where you want to bite your tongue, certain times where you want to get it out in the open. So if you need to have a serious conversation or talk with someone, the energy is available again. So notice we have all this stuck energy coming loose. That's the one thing I really like about this spread. Let's move over to the Knight of Cups. Then we'll do a quick little recap before we get into the shadow. Yeah, so the energy is changing in a lot of different ways, but I feel like they're moving in a good direction. So let's see what the Knight of Cups has, please. Don't bite your tongue, my good friends. Oh, okay. So we have the Page of Swords in reverse underneath the Knight of Cups. All right, so there could be some. I don't want to sound mean when I say this, but there could be a situation or something that would it would probably better serve you to not focus on it for a time. That's how it feels. Because the Page of Swords, yes, it's one of your power cards. Um, it's the watcher of the tarot deck, right? It's always watching, analyzing, planning. So when I see it in reverse underneath the Knight of Cups, it's like, listen, don't even worry about this. Don't even watch it. Don't even pay attention to it, which might be easier said than done, right? Especially if it's something we care about or something that's important to us. It's like, all right, how am I not going to think about it? Or how am I not going to focus on it? The energy just moves in such a good place where, like, things that may have been pinned down for a long time, things that may have been gunked up for a long time, it's like this energy all comes loose and things can progress how they need to. So, like, all the changes and shifting in energy is moving in the right direction to me. That's at least how it feels now. Now, the Page of Swords is one of your power cards, aside from being a watcher or a communicator. We already spoke about conversation. We saw it here. He's usually very defensive. In the reverse, it's not holding back. So very similar. We have this similar theme here where it's like, do not hold back. Don't leave things unsaid. If there are topics you feel like you need to talk about them. If there are things that you've been wanting to say them. That's like really strong in the energy in this time. Doesn't mean you have to be mean to someone. Doesn't mean you have to rip them to shreds. But if there's certain things, topics that you feel like addressing, do not bite your tongue. Like, there's this energy where it's like, don't hold back, Gemini. Say your piece. Speak your piece. That's just how it feels to me. So there's a huge emphasis on communication, but I love that the energy is changing in a way where things can move forward in a better, more healthy direction, if that makes sense. Let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadow. So, one of the more smoother energies, believe it or not, that I've seen for you in a while, but if you want to kindly look in the box, position number one, we got the World with the Devil in reverse. Sure, could there be various things coming to a close or ending? Yeah. Or things coming to a culmination, but now is a great time to solve long-standing issues. So things that have been bothering you for a while. So thought processes, habits, addictions, you name it. Now is a great time to turn over a new leaf and attack something in a different way. Moving to the center, we have the Ace of Swords with the Hanged Man in reverse. Let it rip. If there's something on your mind, speak it. No time to hold back. That's the big vibe I'm picking up here. There could be a serious talk or situation that needs to be addressed when I see this. And then even here on the back end, it's like, all right, well, you can speak your piece and not be mean about it. But very similar vibe. Either there's something that spirit's saying, like, okay, it's going to do you better to not think about something for a while, take it off your radar, or as mentioned, let it rip. Like, there's just this energy of getting it all out there, getting it all out in the open. But the energy itself, there's a lot of change and forward movement in a good way. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge, they could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. We got. Oh, and yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this card out. What do we got for Gemini in the shadows? Quick, cool. Yeah, so very similar to this energy that we've been seeing uprooted is we have the Hierophant. So big Taurus energy. And remember when I was speaking about the devil, I was saying that this Hierophant has some similar energetic vibes where it's just super, super planted. Now, the Hierophant can speak about a lot of things: long term commitment, spirituality, spiritual practice. Usually, this is a card that has a lot of history. So, when we see the shadow side of it, of course, it could represent feeling stuck in a rut, stuck in a loop, or nothing's ever going to change, nothing's ever going to shift. When the whole reading itself was showing us, like, oh no, properly addressed energy, it's available for you to shift out of something if you want. Remember, it's all choice, all your awareness. But the good thing about the Hierophant is the commitment it has. The shadow side of the Hierophant is the fact that it never changes or never wants to change. So watch out for any individuals that are a little too set in their ways when I see this. So we're just going to put the Hierophant down right there, my beautiful friends. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the December subscriber surprise. If you would like further clarification on your situation, you can book a personal reading with me at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. My December schedule is live right now, and the spots go quick, so go check it out, see what's available if you want to have a chat with me. But for the December subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of one of my favorite decks for all skill levels, the Gilded Tarot Royale. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the tarot cards, which one do you resonate with most? When you see it in a reading, it's like, yeah, that's me. Put your answer in the comments. You'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in the community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.